Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Turkey. So I did actually start recording this before I left to come away. So I'd had Lillian's 50th, we had a mad week, load of stuff was going on, and I did a little recording before we came on holiday because I was going to edit it while I was here. But then when we got here and I started to edit it, I just looked at the footage and I thought, Matt, you just look knackered. You don't look happy at all. So it's time to get some sleep, get some sunshine, and then re-record the whole thing. So that's why I'm doing it from my little apartment lounge in Turkey. So today I just want to quickly go through the kit that I'm using, why I'm using it, and what's changed since the last time I used kit on a bike ride. As you know, when I did my ride down to Turkey and my ride back, I was using a GoPro mounted to the helmet or to the handlebars, and I had the GoPro medium mod connected to the GoPro, and I had a lavalier mic which was plugged into that. That just meant that I had kind of cables going into the helmet. I had a microphone obviously on the end of that cable that was stuffed into the the foam lining of the helmet, and it kind of worked. When I tested it before I went, it seemed to work just fine. But what I didn't do was test it when I get over like 50, 60 miles an hour. I was just testing it around kind of town and stuff. And at those speeds, it was fine. But as soon as I hit kind of 60, 50, 60, 70 miles an hour, it was basically useless. It was like popping and banging. The worst thing was I didn't know anything about this until I got to the editing stage, only to find out that all the footage was completely useless. Well, the footage was useful, but everything that I'd spoken over was useless. So that was a bit disappointing because I had some really interesting chats with myself on the ride back particularly. So you don't get to hear any of those at all. So as many of you will know from earlier videos, I managed to smash my GoPro on the way back from a ride to Cheddar that I did. That was a real pain because it was totally unintentional. There was nothing wrong with the GoPro, but I just simply dropped it on a road when I was trying to set up ready for a kind of a drive-by thing that I was going to do. And it smashed it completely. Now, that wasn't all bad because I had been eyeing up the DJI Osmo Action 4. I think it's the Osmo Action 4. It might just be the Action 4, but it's this one right here. Now, I've been looking at this mainly because I'd already been using the DJI Osmo Pocket 1, which is like the gimbal camera, and the Pocket 2, which is the second iteration of that. And I decided that I was gonna kind of throw caution to the wind, throw a bunch of cash at it and buy the new Osmo Pocket 3, which is what I'm recording on right now. It is an absolutely awesome bit of kit. It's got a 1-inch sensor in it, which is way bigger than the other sensors in the other cameras that they had before, the Osmo 1 and 2. And it's got loads more functions. And for me, that's done a bit of photography and videography stuff before, those functions were really, really kind of useful for me. The other thing was I bought this microphone, this one right here. I'll do a close-up as well so you can see. And this microphone is the DJI Mic 2. This one, the thing that's unique about this microphone is it connects to the Osmo Pocket 3, but from the Action 4 series, it also connects to that. And this was the main thing that I was wanting to resolve because, as you know, the popping and banging from the lavalier mic in my helmet on the way back from Turkey was really annoying. Didn't know that until afterwards. And I needed to find another solution for in-helmet microphones. And it turns out that this is just the ticket because this connects wirelessly to this camera as well as the Osmo Pocket 3. And I can just pop this microphone inside the helmet. I've got a little video coming up right now. So we've got the microphone here, we've got the helmet. I'm going to put it on, hang on. So we've got this piece of fabric under here, which is like your wind guard. The microphone sits straight onto that. Just pop it in there like that. Perfect. And it just stays there inside the helmet, kind of rests down there between my chin and the front of the helmet, and it just doesn't go anywhere. And when you've got this thing here, which is like the dead cat or whatever they call it, that slots into there, and that takes away all of the wind noise and everything that you otherwise would get. I don't really need to have it on there now. I'll take that off. And that resolved all of the sound issues completely, and also took away the need to have a microphone going into my helmet and a cable coming out of a media mod. Oh, it just totally changed everything completely. Now, this microphone is kind of almost like a professional microphone. I know that there's loads of things that this can do that I don't know anything about, so I'm not a sound guy, but I'm told that this has a 32-bit float. I have no idea what that means. It sounds like some kind of flotation device that you'd use if you get capsized at sea, and there's 32 bits you have to put together, but obviously by the time you put 32 bits together, you're probably drowned anyway, so it doesn't mean that, I know that, but it's got some kind of device. It's basically set up so you can get professional sound, but this is just plug and play. All I'm doing is connecting it to the camera and talking into it, and it's recording it and doing a great job, and it does exactly the same with this as well. So that is the microphone bit of it that I find absolutely game changing and has really worked for me. So the thing is, what are we looking at price wise? Obviously you can look online and see the Action 4 is cheaper than the GoPro, but it's better, or at least as good. I think it's better. But it's cheaper than the GoPro, and you don't have to subscribe to any kind of monthly thing, which you do with GoPro now, I think. It would be good if they'd taken that away. And this will cost, I think I paid about £350 for the camera, if I can remember right. The microphone is about £90, somewhere between 90 and £100. Okay, it's a bit of money, but it sorts out all of your kind of moto vlogging issues when it comes to sound and talking into the camera. So that for me has been a complete game changer, and I'm totally chuffed that I've gone over to the DJI stuff. So another thing with the DJI products, which is a massive bonus, is the mount system. So if you've used GoPro, you're really familiar with the 3-prong plastic thing with a screw that goes through the side, and you've got to unscrew it and take the little kind of the flaps down off the bottom of the GoPro, stick it in there, put the screw in, tighten it up. And then when you want to take the camera off, you've got to go through all of that again. You've got to unscrew everything, pull it out. It's an absolute nightmare, an absolute nightmare. Even worse is when you have the media mod and you put the camera inside the media mod, then you pull the flaps down from the inside of the camera into the thing. It just means that you cannot change batteries easily or memory cards easily, because you've got to do this massive kind of dismounting process, which takes ages. And believe me, every little thing, when you're doing a motorcycle tour, the tiny little things are the things that irritate you the most in the end, because you have to keep repeating these tiny little kind of actions that you have to do all the time, when really you just want something that is really convenient. So the new DJI mount, which is a magnetic mount which also clips, can just removes all of that hassle. So you basically unclip it from your helmet, you can take it off, and you can put it onto the handlebar mount. So I've bought a couple of these mounts and put them on different places on the motorcycle, so I can take it from my helmet to the handlebars to anywhere else that I want it to be. I could get another a DJI action camera and have one on my helmet, one on the handlebars, but it's rare that I really need to have both those cameras going at the same time. So I can do some footage with the helmet, take it off the helmet, put it onto the handlebars. Because there's no cables attached, no microphone cable attached, you can just move it around your bike, and you can still do kind of voiceovers wherever it's mounted, because you've got the microphone in your helmet. And I think you can go up to like 250 meters away before the microphone drops out. So there's no problem with the receiving like the signal from the camera to the mic, and vice versa, if it even does that, I don't know. But it just means the convenience side of things makes it just changes everything. So I was starting to get really irritated with the whole GoPro mount thing. So I had one mounted on my handlebars. I had the GoPro mounted on my helmet. I had an Insta360 on the handlebars, which now kind of sits gathering dust really. I might sell it, but because they come out with the Series 4 of that, it's probably worth nothing. And it does have its place, that camera, although I don't really like it very much. We'll talk about that later on. But anyway, the convenience of the DJI mount has really changed everything as well. So it's definitely worth looking into the DJI stuff because it's all so integrated across the board with all of their products. Everything kind of works together seamlessly. And for me, there's probably no going back now, really. It wouldn't have taken much for GoPro to make some changes. Changes to their mount system, which have been really easy. They could have introduced some kind of magnetic thing as well. And everyone's like, is it strong enough with the magnet? Well, it's not just the magnet that holds. It goes down onto the magnet and clips into the 2 clips that go into the bottom of the device. So it's not going anywhere. Believe me, I've had it mounted on my handlebars, on my helmet, and everything. And it's just not come loose and will never come loose. So awesome bits of kit, really worth looking into. Another thing that I'm just going to run you through now is back to the Osmo Pocket 3 and the face tracking. Because if you can't afford to have a film crew with you, just buy the Osmo Pocket 3 because it looks like you have. Take a look at this. I'm just going to show you how the face tracking works on the Osmo Pocket 3 because it's really quite cool how it works. And it looks like you've got kind of a cameraman with you walking around and following you. So I'm just going to put this down on this little bit of a ledge here. I'm going to turn the face tracking on, which I think I do like that. Maybe. There we go, face tracking. So it's got my face. And this is nuts because I can just walk past and it will follow me. And it looks like I got a cameraman with me or something, but I haven't. I've just plonked it down over here. And it doesn't matter what I do. If I go down, it will follow me down, go up. Pretty awesome stuff. So this Osmo Pocket 3, I've had the 2 iterations before this, the Osmo Pocket 1 and 2, obviously. And both of those cameras were awesome. The one I had on the way down to Turkey was the Osmo Pocket 1. And on the way back, and it was, to be honest, more than good enough. And given the fact that you can pick it up for under £100 now, it's kind of a no-brainer. Obviously the Osmo Pocket 3, it's got a much bigger sensor, it's got loads of other features which I probably will use, some of it, not all of it. But the bigger sensor made a difference for me because it's better in the dark. And it just gives a better quality image, but not that you'd really notice on YouTube very much, I suppose, because it is kind of pretty compressed on YouTube anyway. But it just is an awesome bit of kit that I would not do without on a motorcycle tour when I want to do some chatting stuff like this. But as I said in the video, this really is like the thing. Having the ability to use this microphone together with the Osmo Pocket 3 and with the Action 4 is a total game changer. It's a total game changer. So I highly recommend it. If you've got the budget for it and you want to have something that has that kind of quality and just the sheer practicality of having a 1 microphone to 2 camera setup, absolutely brilliant. And I know that you can get another one of these microphones, a double microphone, and you can use it for kind of vlog type. You can use it for vlog type interview things with other people. You can have a microphone each, and the quality of the sound is just brilliant. So it's blowing quite a lot out here at the moment, and I'm standing into the wind, and I'm not really sure how much of this is getting picked up. I'm going to walk all the way over to the edge here and see. You get to see my flip-flops and my dodgy shorts. But here we are. I'm right over here. And I think, as far as I can tell, it's still filming me. I'll go over here. Is it still following me? I'm not sure if it is. Yes, it is. It's following me. This is nuts. So anyway, yeah, windy as anything. I wonder if this, what they call a dead cat or something, don't they? I hope that's working. But yeah, guys, if you got the budget for this and you want something of this kind of quality, then really is a bit of a no-brainer. Obviously, not everybody's going to want to be doing kind of face to the camera chatting stuff like this, because it's not everybody's cup of tea. And you don't want to start a YouTube channel, you know, all that kind of thing, blah, blah, blah. But you want to film your rides. If you want to do that, if that's all you want to do, and you want to maybe talk over a little bit, like, then this one here, the Action 4, it's trying to find my face again, but if I put it there, the Action 4, that is the bit of kit that you need, and it is a phenomenal bit of kit, which I wouldn't do without. So to be honest now, whereas before I had my whole tank bag filled with stuff, now I've just got this. Now, question is, do I need a handlebar mounted thing as well as the helmet? Well, I do have my GoPro 10, which still works after my dodgy repair, and I still have the Insta360, which you can just use as a 4K action cam. And the convenient thing about the Insta360 is you can use just the front-facing camera or the rear-facing camera, so you can have it mounted on your handlebars or anywhere on the bike, and you can choose which camera you're going to use. That way, that you don't have to turn the camera around or do anything. So, you know, that is a pretty helpful bit of kit, that as well, I must admit. But I haven't used it anywhere near as much as I thought I would, and I certainly haven't used it for the 360 function because I just think it looks so rubbish. But that's just me. You might think it looks awesome, but I'm not into all that kind of looking like you're riding over a globe or something. It just looks kind of like a bit twanky. But anyway, a bit pony or donkey, I don't know what you call it. Just doesn't look so good. But this, with your face tracking, is unbelievable. And I got Okan in the background. He has been watching me the whole time. So there you go. Over and out from me. See you next time.